icons represent our national identity, the symbols that give us our collective personality as Americans. There's George Washington, Uncle Sam, and the cowboys, signifying America's rugged individualism. The Corvette and the Harvey, capturing American style and speed. TV dinners, the Playboy Bunny, and even the disco ball, symbolizing times that were a-changin'. And Elvis and Marilyn, personifying American talent, charisma, and tragedy. While tragic events also produce enduring symbols, the passion stirred by these events renew our appreciation for the people, places, and things that have always defined us as Americans. These are their stories, the stories of American classics. Welcome to American Classics. Hi, I'm Dick Clark. It will come back to American classics. Vietnam, assassinations, riots, protests. The 60s were a wild ride that took Americans to places they never thought they'd go. So by the time the 70s were underway, some of us were ready to change the channel. It was time to replace those rallying cries of protest with a new kind of slogan, something like, I don't know, have a good time, or have a nice day. There have been other famous smiles in history, but none have had the staying power of this all-American classic.
It is an amazing piece of art. It is understood by everybody. You can be a little kid, you can be an infant, you can be elderly, it doesn't matter. Race, religion, political affiliations mean nothing. I look at Smiley around and I get a little concerned. It's more like Smiley is in charge, and I work for him. Everybody knows Smiley. Very few people know Harvey Ball.
But it was Harvey Ball who gave us Smiley. In 1963, the State Mutual Life Assurance Company in Worcester, Massachusetts decided to launch a friendship campaign as a cure for low employee morale. The project manager hired a local commercial artist named Harvey Ball.
She said, we want some little buttons. And she drew a circle on a piece of paper, and she put a line for a mouth, and she says, that's all I wanted, just a smile.
But the mouth by itself had a downside. Unhappy employees could still spin the button around and make it a frown. So Ball gave Smiley eyes. To add a human touch of imperfection, he deliberately made one eye smaller than the other, and he painted the mouth with a gentle freehand swoop. Ball put the face onto a yellow background to suggest sunshine, and State Mutual printed up 100 buttons like this one for employees. Right away, it was obvious that this was the start of something. Clients, visitors, and especially kids began asking for a Smiley button. By 1968, the company had given away more than 130,000 buttons.
Something about the image captured people's imaginations. Something about the smiley face, which is simplicity, but at the same time communicated a sense of sharing between one person and the other, may have very well accounted for how it really took off so rapidly.
And that's when capitalism took over. State Mutual had never bothered to copyright Ball's design. The smiley face went on to become immensely popular and was easily copied to meet the demand. In Philadelphia, the Spain Brothers Company added a catchy phrase, "Have a happy day," and copyrighted the combination of face and phrase. In the first 6 months of 1972, sales of their smiley face buttons crossed the $1 million mark.
All of a sudden, I'm looking around, for God's sakes, I'm seeing Smiley everywhere. Where did it go? What happened?
7 years after Harvey Ball brought Smiley into the world, he looked into copywriting Smiley. It was too late. There were an estimated 50 million Smileys beaming around the country, one for every 4 Americans. In the eyes of the law, Smiley is already public property.
He has appeared in movies and such, and even driving through roadside America, you'll see him on water towers looking over everyone. I've got a magazine cover. I've got them with toilet seats and toilet brushes.
And what did Harvey Ball get out of all of this? A paycheck for $45, way back in 1964. In April 2001, Ball died at the age of 79. At the time of his death, he and his son Charlie were campaigning for a globally recognized World Smile Day.
He drew a smiley face, he made it yellow too. It was sunny, it was simple, and he said, I'm through. Now give a little giggle.
I do believe it is the one now international symbol of goodwill and good cheer. And it's international in the sense that it crosses all the lines that normally divide us as a human race.
Do your imitation of the smiley face pin. Open up your heart and let the sun shine in. And share with your neighbors and your next.
Smiley had lots of company in the 70s. Part of the reason for his popularity was that everyone wanted to smile, at least a little. The 70s were definitely the preferred joke decade of American culture, but the stars of the 70s have become classics. Smiley and the disco ball have enormous power for those of us who are around to enjoy them. And the 70s may seem silly now, but back then, it was just life.
And that will never be recaptured again. Now we know too much. We know about every danger and pitfall involved in every kind of behavior, and people are constantly working towards self-help and avoiding addictions and what to do to just survive and be the best possible person you can. And we didn't care back then. It was just pure me, me, me. And naturally we're nostalgic for that, and we want to preserve that through the icons of that era.